I just want to be more benevolent. And I'm not. I'm kind of I don't want to say asshole, but I'm like, I have asshole potential. I thought everybody liked me.
Kody Brown has said a lot of wild things over the years, but he recently dropped a line that proves he is the absolute king of self-delusion. Kody literally tells the camera as he journeys to, as he's on his pilgrimage to North Carolina on the first stop of his apology tour, that up until the divorces, he thought everyone liked him. What? He seems to be referencing the OG3, but he also kind of seems to be lumping in his kids and even viewers with that broad sweeping statement. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. There is still so much to unpack from episode 10. I am saying, you guys, season 20 is illuminating when it comes to a behind the psyche look into the minds of Kody and Robyn. It's a scary place to be, but we will wade through the delusion together.
There's been in the past so much animosity. I am here to apologize. I haven't reached out to Christine or Mary yet. My heart isn't soft enough to actually apologize to them yet. The devil gets in your head. You know, like, Father in heaven, I need some help here. Because me, this jackwagon, I'm just an asshole to most people. I never thought I was until I got divorced. I thought everybody liked me. It's an effort to just say, I don't even know what to say, really. I was emotionally in the state of a 12-year-old, I guess, when the breakups happen. And the reason I'm going to Janelle first is simply because there's so much less toxicity. There's so much less for me to forgive. It's easier for me to go ask forgiveness.
Did you hear that? This man looked dead serious and said he thought everyone liked him. I mean, the sheer level of self-deception required to make that statement is, and I don't say this lightly, breathtaking. It requires him to conveniently forget 15 years of his own documented behavior on national television. I mean, we've clocked the narcissism. We have seen the complete lack of self-awareness for years. We know Kody and Robyn love to rewrite history, but this is something else. This proves his disconnect from reality is so much more profound than any of us could have even imagined. This is a man who seems to have convinced himself that nearly 2 decades of cruelty, of conflict, of screaming matches was what? Just some quirky family sitcom where he's this lovable dad and everyone was just trying to have a good time? I will admit, Kody had me fooled for probably 4 seasons when I first started watching Sister Wives, but it has been many, many years since viewers have seen this man as anything other than the villain getting in the way of any chance of happiness for his ex-wives and children. Let's talk about the biggest and most glaring problem with Kody's little narrative here. It's the actual documented history of this show. For Kody to believe everyone liked him, he would need a very, very specific type of amnesia, one that only erases the memories of him acting like a complete jerk. Take, for instance, Christine. I mean, from the earliest seasons, it was painfully obvious how Kody felt. He's the man who famously admitted on camera that he was grossed out watching his wife eat nachos. It was a small moment in a tell-all that TLC attempted to erase from TV history, but it was a symptom of a much larger disease. He showed more genuine enthusiasm picking out Robyn's wedding dress than he ever did for his spiritual marriage to Christine. And then, of course, there's the knife in the kidneys moment, which wasn't that long ago. That moment of just raw verbal betrayal really became the tombstone of Christine and Kody's entire relationship. A liked guy doesn't talk about his wife that way. The fact that Kody views Christine's rejections of his attempts to tolerate her as a knife in the kidneys, that is a language of a man who believes loyalty is a one-way street that flows directly to him. Then you've got Mary. Kody himself has admitted that he strung her along for over a decade. He told her flat out that he couldn't see them as a married couple, but he never gave her the dignity of a clean break. He just left her in this emotional purgatory. I've seen actual mental health professionals analyze Kody's behavior, and they've called it exactly what it is, a form of control. You keep someone in a state of uncertainty to maintain power over them. That is not what a liked person does. That is textbook manipulation. And then there's Janelle, our famously independent queen. She wasn't immune either. Their fights, especially towards the end, were genuinely brutal. We all remember that tell the world argument right before the holidays that really cemented the end for Janelle. He screamed at her. He blamed her for his own failed relationships with their sons. In that now infamous fight, he literally screamed at her that the family's dysfunction belonged on her. A liked guy does not scream at the mother of his children that she is the source of all of their family's pain. That is what a man who is functionally incapable of accepting responsibility does. So when Kody sits there genuinely bewildered that his family imploded, he is ignoring thousands of moments where he was cruel, dismissive, and just flat out unlikable. He hasn't just revised history, he's drafted an entirely new work of fiction to protect an ego so fragile it cannot handle the truth. Kody can never be the liked guy he imagines himself to be because he is fundamentally unable to take responsibility for literally anything. In Kody's world, nothing is ever his fault. The family collapsed, wasn't his neglect, wasn't his blatant favoritism. No, it was the wife's jealousy or his kids' disrespect, or maybe the production company was giving him a bad edit. He even tells Robin on this apology tour he's not planning on apologizing for why his wives have beef with him. He's only willing to own the stuff he feels like he's done wrong. Kody's go-to narrative has always been that his wives left him because they couldn't handle his perfect, wonderful relationship with Robin. It's a simple, convenient story that always positions him and, more importantly, Robin as victims. Meanwhile, Christine, Janelle, and Mary have all said repeatedly that their primary issue was with Kody. They said his favoritism was a symptom, but that the disease was that he abandoned them and their children emotionally and physically. By constantly hammering this jealousy talking point, Kody sidesteps the actual issue. He's the one who broke the plural family. He's the one who stopped being a husband to 3 of his 4 wives. And this pattern, sadly, doesn't just apply to the wives. It extends to his children. When his sons, Gabe and Garrison, dared to challenge his extreme COVID protocols, Kody didn't see it as a family disagreement. He saw this as an act of treason. He labeled them disrespectful and used it as justification to withhold his affection. Kody has even said on camera that his kids don't love him because he doesn't love their moms, which is a stunningly cruel admission that places all of the blame on his children for reacting to his behavior. Even when he was on special forces, it was the same pattern. His castmates saw right through it. One of them described him as the single person on the cast that most people just didn't get along with. So much for being the liked guy. This is the core of Kody's delusion. Being liked requires empathy and accountability, 2 things he seems to be in dangerously short supply of. He is the hero of his own story only. He's constantly under siege from ungrateful wives and rebellious kids. He's never the cause of his own misery, only its most prominent victim. So if the rewritten history and the pathological blame shifting weren't enough, Kody's liked guy fantasy completely self-destructs when you look at how he used money and emotion to control his entire family. These are not the actions of a benevolent patriarch. They are the weapons of a manipulator. Definitely not someone who deserves to be liked. For years, while Robin and her kids lived in a $1 million mansion fully furnished, Janelle, who worked for decades contributing to the family pot, found herself practically begging for the funds to build a home on Coyote Pass, a piece of land she helped pay for. Kody used the communal finances as leverage. His financial support was conditional and doled out only to those who were deemed loyal, which for years has really just meant Robin. A liked guy, a good leader, makes sure his entire family is financially secure. A controller uses money to reward obedience and to punish dissent. Even more insidious, though, was his weaponization of affection. He openly admitted to withholding intimacy from Christine because, in his words, she wasn't being a good sister wife to Robin. He did the same thing to Mary, essentially holding their entire relationship hostage until she capitulated to his demands. He turned love, the literal foundation of any marriage, into a transactional prize. Behave how I want you to behave. Treat my favorite wife perfectly. Put my needs above your own. And only then will you be worthy of my affection. I think liked people make you feel safe. Kody made his wives feel disposable. At the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. 3 women chose to systematically dismantle their lives, their faith, and their family structure just to get away from him. Christine left, then Janelle separated, and Kody himself effectively ended his marriage to Mary. You don't make those kinds of life-altering decisions because you dislike a liked guy. You do it to save yourself. Where does that leave us? We have a man who claims he thought he was beloved, but whose history is a masterclass in casual and I would say even sometimes aggressive cruelty. A man who paints himself as the victim, but who has blamed every single person around him for the problems that he himself has created. This is a man who thinks he was a good guy while actively using money and love as tools for control. Kody Brown's confession that he thought he was liked isn't just a lie. It's the Rosetta Stone to his entire psychology. He has constructed a fortress of delusion around himself that is so thick, no amount of truth or reality can penetrate it. He doesn't just have asshole potential. He is a man who has been realizing that potential for well over a decade, all while telling himself he's the hero of the story. The real tragedy here isn't just that this family fell apart, it's that he seems fundamentally incapable of understanding why the family fell apart. And while we see that he's beginning to issue apologies to his ex-wives, very conveniently done on camera, mind you, we know from statements his kids and ex-wives have made much more recently and after this apology tour has filmed, Kody has made no meaningful changes to build bridges. I think the saddest thing for any of us who truly feel like we're empathetic people is to realize when another human being just might be a lost cause. And for a while now, I've said that Kody Brown is pretty much just a study in a personality disorder for me. Truly the king of self-delusion. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check out my second channel, Sarah Spills, and my podcast, Mostly Harmless. Links for both of those will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, X, and TikTok at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.